Hey Facebook folks, it's Tai Goodwin. I am really excited about talking to you today about the 3 systems that you need to have in your business to have consistent 5-figure months. Let's see, I do not want to tag anybody, but I do want to invite some people to join this conversation. So here's the deal. I am planning to go live in this group every week, at least once a week on a scheduled time. And so right now, this is looking like Thursdays at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. So if you want to go ahead and note that time, if you want to make sure that you have it turned on so that anytime I go live, that you actually get notifications so that you don't miss this. Okay. So I posted this question earlier in the week and I saw, I think I saw 1 or 2 responses, but listen, this is some good stuff. So I want to talk really quickly about the 3 systems that you need to have in your business. And it doesn't matter if you're just starting out. It doesn't matter if you've been in business for 10 years and you've been doing everything organically. It doesn't matter if you just been flying by the seat of your pants. So here's what you need to have. The very first system that you need to have is a systemized way to get traffic to your offers and to your content. Why do you need to have it systemized? Because you need to be able to figure out what works so you don't waste your time and money on things that are not giving you traffic. This is one of the things I see people misstep on because they are just going to try it. I'm going to try it and try it and try it. I've started trying to get into the habit of saying test it, because when you test it, you note the results. So don't just try to do a Facebook ad and then you're not tracking to see what works and what doesn't work. Don't just try to do an email marketing campaign and then you're not testing what headlines work, what length work, what's best time of day works. So you want a system that's going to bring traffic. And when I work with clients, I usually have them identify 3 ways that they're going to get in front of people and get in front of the right people so they can generate that traffic. And that traffic can come online or it can be offline. If you go to a networking event, that is generating traffic. The next system that you want to have, this is number 2, is you need to have a way to follow up with those people. What does that look like? I know people who would spend so much time obsessing over building an email list. And then they'd get this list and then I would say, well, what are you doing with the list? Well, I don't know what I want to do with them, but I just have an email list. What? Why would you spend all that time building a list if you're not going to have a way to nurture the relationship? I call that a virtual dialogue. So just like if I met you at a live event, what I would do after that is I would say, let's meet for coffee, right? Let's have a conversation. I can't do that online all the time, but what I can do is I can send someone an email and I can have a virtual dialogue via that email. Whatever your system is, if you don't like email, if you like phone calls, if you like direct mail, whatever it is, you want to have something in place so that you are nurturing those relationships, because the next thing is your third system. You have to have a way to sell. What does it look like when you sell something to people? What does it look like beyond when you just click the PayPal button? What does your onboarding system look like? Do you use a scheduler? Do you make it automated? Like, what do you do? When you don't have that system, it's frustrating for your audience and it's also frustrating for you. I tell this story about when I first started coaching, how I was just so excited to get like these, what did I call them? Some kind of like career makeover call or something like that. And that was my free session. And I was so excited to get the first couple. The first 1 or 2, I just talked the whole time and I was giving them all this advice. And I know at least on the very first one, I was like, oh, I never asked them to work with me. Oh, okay, that's not going to go well. But even after that, I remember the first time I got a paying client, she was like, okay, so how do I pay you? I was like, oh, that's a really good question. And I'm trying to scramble and get credit card information and write all this stuff down and thinking, oh my gosh, how am I going to process this? And this was got to be like 10 or 11 years ago at this point. So you need to have that system lock, stock, and in place. If you've got those 3 simples, and there's more things you could add to this, right? But if you've got those 3 systems, you're generating, Sorry, I froze up for a minute. You're generating traffic. You are nurturing those relationships. And you know how you're going to sell and what that experience looks like. You can be in position to generate 5-figure months consistently. Now, the problem is, what do you do when you don't have those systems in place? What do you do when you don't know how to get traffic? What happens if you don't know how to generate email lists or email messages that lead them to buying from you, that convert them into not just prospects, but paying clients and customers? And what happens if you don't know how to set up the sales piece on the back end, right? You will struggle. You will have a lack of confidence because you know that the minute you pick up the phone or the minute you reach out to someone, you don't have the things in place to follow through. When you have those things in place, it's easier for you to be confident because you know you can make it work. You know you can put it all together. I know a lot of coaches, like, they freak out when they start taking clients because they haven't put the building blocks in place. What's your contract look like? Where are you identifying what the expectations are for you and for your client? Where do you have a conversation about what does the communication look like? All of those pieces that you need to put together in order to not just sell your services, but this is about building a business that is sustainable. So those are the 3 systems. You got to have a way to get traffic. You have to have a way to nurture that traffic so you can convert them into paying clients. And when you convert them, when they say yes, you've got to have a sales system in place so you can take their money and you can deliver the goods. If you don't have that in place, we need to talk. I am opening up my idea to income coaching. I haven't done this in a while, but I have had a few people that are really new and they realize they don't have the things in place. They don't have a traffic generation system, but they can't even get there because they haven't even figured out what they're going to sell. So it's kind of, putting the cart before the horse. What are you going to sell? How are you going to get people to what you're selling? How are you going to have a conversation with them virtually so that you're nurturing that relationship? And then how are you going to process and deliver the goods? If you need help with that, send me a private message and let's talk about the Idea to Income program that I do. We will work together for 9 weeks while we get this up and running for you so you can start getting clients ASAP. You will not have to wait the whole 9 weeks to get your first client. We can start that ASAP. So I'm going to put the link to where you can contact me in the comments. And you know the deal. Click the link or give me a private message. And stay tuned for next week. I will be back talking about sales funnels because we're getting ready to do a course on sales funnels. Okay, I will see you online. Until next time, be brilliant, bankable, and be the boss in your business. Bye.